Within this video is the single most psychotic image related to Transformer toys I have ever seen in my life, and I invite you to watch all the way through so you can see it for yourself. I've never tried a hook to keep people engaged in the video at the start, so I'm just giving it a shot, but I'm also being completely serious. I found an image that completely broke me, and now you have to suffer through it as well. But before that, before we begin, thank you very much to me, TJ, and I'ma do a flip for joining the Patreon campaign. Thank you very much for the support, even if it's only $1 a month. Everybody who pitches in on Patreon ensures that this channel keeps going, that the daily content keeps coming, and that I am able to do more and more for you guys because I love doing as much as I can for you guys. Thank you very much for allowing me to be internet goofball with your support. So, we have done knockoff browsing before on this channel. It's a favorite around here because it's just so weird what they can come up with for these figures, but this time we are on Amazon. These things are available to purchase as of this video right now. So let's take a look and see. Now there's some familiar faces. I could swear I've done this before because some of these toys that I am looking through today are definitely familiar. Like this Constructicon looking guy over here. I have definitely mentioned him before. I definitely recognize him because he almost doesn't look too bad, you know? Like he's got this like bowl mode for like his lower half, and then his upper half has got this little gorilla thing going on, and nothing about it seems too bad, you know? It's a super cheap figure that's, you know, designed for size and simplicity for a little kid, but I mean, it doesn't look half bad for what it is, you know? So we're going to go through a little bit of the familiar faces first, the ones that you just kind of see every time you search for Transformers on Amazon, even if you're not specifically looking for knockouts or knockoffs like I was. So for instance, this guy that just keeps coming up. Yeah, Lara Dora toys for 3, 4, 5, 6-year-old boys transform robot kids toys, cars, STEM building toddler toys for ages 3 plus, 5-in-1 construction Christmas birthday. Those kind of listings. That's what we're looking at today. The listings that just scream like blunt force trauma translation. So yeah, this one's fine. Like again, he's got a kind of a Voltron-esque looking head. He plays lights and sounds. Not music, just sounds, but that's the graphic they photoshopped in. But yeah, he doesn't look, again, he just doesn't look too bad. He's just a bunch of figures that combine. And that is kind of our focus for the day. It's not just typical combiner or typical Transformer toys we're looking at. I specifically wanted combiners today. All of those figures that don't necessarily have individual robot forms in their individual from their individual vehicles, but just, you know, standard, like, combine into a giant robot stuff. So there is some stuff that operates like a Transformer combiner, but for the most part, a lot of these are going to be more akin to like a Power Ranger toy. And we're going to go through a lot of them really quick. A lot of these like familiar faces that just kind of demonstrate the idea. Like this guy. How many times have you been like me when looking through these listings and this guy pops up and you could swear that this backhoe that's actually like the brontosaurus neck was actually the head? Because from a distance, I think that every single time. And this is innocent enough. I mean, you've got construction vehicles that all turn into very simplistic dinosaurs or animals, you know, so that's not too bad. I don't know what animal that is or what vehicle that is. I thought it was an animal for a second. That's how ill-defined some of this is. But yeah, you can see it's harmless, you know, I mean, and it transforms, you know, it's not robots, but, you know, you get a bunch of dinosaur toys out of your construction toys and they'll combine into a robot. It's going to combine a lot of kids' loves right there. And then things like this. This is the kind that you see all over the place. Individual vehicles that just jam into like a very simplistic robot. These at least have pullback motors to them. Yeah, it's just this guy. Like, and we see this a lot. So yeah, it's literally just the trucks plugged in from their bottoms on, and this, like, whatever they happen to have riding on top of the truck modes, that's the arms. So he kind of ends up like this. There's like arms like stretched out, and like this, like his like shoulders begin where my elbows are right now. This is who you want defending you from Decepticons. And this is a pretty common one. This engineering system of truck feet and truck shoulders. Like, here's another one now in Hess truck flavor colors. I mean, at least I got the green, so that makes me a little bit happier, but it's just weird. I'm not comfortable with where that backhoe is positioned. I'm not sure anyone thought of that. Oh, and we continue with this. How about a military one that just has a tank barrel there? Yeah, we're not getting into that. I'm not touching it. I ain't touching it. Yeah, he just has guns for arms. Just a one big missile and one big turret as just, yeah, again, I can't get over that. The proportions on these guys are absurd, and it makes me laugh so much. We got another one here, and this one gets a little bit different. I don't know why this one has laser eyes. I assume it's just demonstrating that the eyes light up. This one does hit a similar vibe, though it is different in engineering, but it still kind of feels the same. This actually kind of gives like a little cutesy vibe to it, you know? This is like more along the standard like 80s toy robot you would normally expect, except just breaks down into 5 different robots, or 5 different vehicles rather. So it's not too bad. You know, it's again simple, easy for a kid. And then we had this one that also came to mind, and again, very similar design style, where you end up with just feet that are made up of trucks, and your legs just plug into the backside of the trucks. And again, we're having a dinosaur theme when it comes to our combiner. Stop putting things there. But now we're using like the heads for the hands and all that, so like he seems like he has actual shoulders this time. But now his elbows kind of just go out to the sides. So you get a little back, they take a little bit more, that kind of thing. It really just doesn't, it just seems like just normal trucks with dinosaur heads, really. You know, and I'm sure Photoshopped Child here really is loving what he's getting. That's always the other fun part about all these really weird listings, is how did they Photoshop these? Yeah, yes, I'm sure that the child and the parent are actually playing with these toys in this picture. It looks so convincing. It looks so convincing with his hand going all over the toy at once. So, funny parts of the listing. Oh, we'll get to some of those. This is one of those types that I see all over the place, and I know we've talked about this in a previous knockoff video, where the idea is literally, like, you just have like a little core figure with 5mm ports, and then you just stick full action figures to the side of it, no matter how bad the proportions look, and call it a combiner. In this one, at least the midsection, like the top and the bottom halves of the core robot, are separate figures. Like, yeah, you can see the two down here. This Swoop and Grimlock looking knockoffs. I'm not quite sure who the other guys are. This one at the bottom left, like, this looks like one of the ghost dogs from the finale of Ghostbusters. I'm not sure why. You can see what you're getting into, though. Like, and there used to be a ton of these. I actually didn't run into that many in this search, but there used to be a ton. Where, you know, it's just like, yeah, that's an acceptable combiner. Just like cram these gigantic arms on this tiny little torso. Oh, but no, don't worry. These proportions still exist. We've just evolved the pattern. Well, we've gone from dinosaurs to dogs. Just a one big old bulldog head right there in the front of your robot. So this one, 3-in-1 transforming robot toys, animal transform to robot toys, 7-shape deformation alloy stem educational toys for kids, 3 us, 3 you get it. They all just kind of have the same like blunt force translation, just trying to hit all of the keywords that mom and dad or grandma and grandpa are putting into the search. Now in this one, at least, like the black and the yellow dogs are actually coming apart in half and forming different parts of them, so it actually plays a little bit differently, and they all work as independent transformers. Like, you do get 3 dogs that do this weird combination, so that's fine. That's fine. What else do we have, though? Oh, we enter the letters. This is another fun aspect of knockoff combiner transformers. So you get a lot of these that are just letters and numbers that transform into little rudimentary robots or animals in this case. And, you know, I get that because, again, now you're trying to combine an educational toy with things that kids are already going to like. So there's dinosaurs in here. You know, there's cool animals. You know, there's a gorilla that transforms from an H. I don't know why the H, but there you go. Looks like you got like a triceratops or a rhino from the G, which does not help in your learning of spelling whatsoever. The O turns into a crab, which again is not how crab is spelled. Now the S is at least a seahorse, so they actually got one. They got one of them offhand. But you see, there's a squid in there. There's a shark in there, a parrot. So it's just kind of all over the place. The X into a dragonfly is kind of clever. Oh, the Z's a mantis. Well, now I want the Z. And then you can see the rudimentary combiners they turn into. I will give these toys credit. Yeah, like, it's super cheap, and you can tell what they are doing. They're trying to get parents to buy these, thinking this is going to be educational for a kid. Same way that like old school wooden blocks with letters can be. So I will give them credit for that. But also creating some things that, you know, transform into recognizable letters and animals, and then also have a combining element to them. It doesn't look great as a combiner, but the fact that all that engineering got crammed into toys that are relatively small and simple, that I will give credit to. These are a little bit more impressive than I think a lot of people give them credit for. There is also an ankylosaurus in here. What letter is the ankylosaurus? It's the E. The E is an ankylosaurus. A letter that doesn't feature in the word ankylosaurus. We also have these in numbers as well, this time in vehicles. So, yeah, and surprisingly detailed in some of these. Like that weapon truck that's the 0, that's actually kind of impressive. You've got a Formula 1 car for the 7. You've got a tank for the 5. You know, there's a forklift. The 9 is a forklift. And I will give them credit again, like that. Some of these don't look like they transform. They certainly don't look like they transform into letters. There's actually some impressive engineering going on here. And then, yeah, they turn into another combining robot. And again, it's not the cleanest of combining robots. I'm giving credit for the fact that it actually seems to work. That's impressive. Pretty sure the chest and head is a cheat. Not that they're actually going to show it. I do love how there is a demonstration of it falling off a table. Thick ABS and sturdy construction. Broken resistant. Not break resistant, broken resistant in the past tense. And yeah, see, they're trying to get across as a learning toy too. We got a few more. Now we have numbers again. And now we also add like multiplication, adding, subtracting. We're adding math to this as well. But you can also see like these are a lot more, these are a lot more what you would expect. These are very simplistic little robots that turn into the numbers. And they do have combiners, which are kind of cute. They're super bright. But otherwise, yeah, they are cheating a little bit because they're filling in the gaps. So this is not quite as impressive as the other ones we saw. Also, deformation. Oh, these knockoff listings love the word deformation. We've kind of discussed that in the past. But no, goofy little toy line. I believe I got one more for you, and this one gets weirder still. So this one actually has everybody getting in on one single combiner rather than being split up into two like the other ones were. But also, this one cheats more than the others and looks somehow the worst of the batch. So in a very similar way to the previous ones, and actually I think these are the same molds. I think these are the same molds, but they've modified them to combine together. In the same vein, like, you have like all these very simplistic shapes and simplistic robots, and that's what you kind of expect out of these cheap figures. But they've completely filled in the numbers again, and now they've tampographed these enormous graphics of what seem to be completely unrelated characters onto the numbers. I don't really have a good visual on any of these to like really recognize who any of them are supposed to be. They all either look like stock art from other robot toys that this company has likely done, or just AI generated stuff to just make them have graphics. It really does diminish the whole, like, these are numbers. Well, that 0 just kind of looks like a, I don't know, token. It looks like a token of some other robot character. Let's get into our basic dinosaurs for a little bit. So, okay, combiner-wise, this guy doesn't look too bad. It looks like a very simple take on a Megazord-style toy line combination. What is up with his head? Everyone else kind of looks fine. The Stegosaurus has an upside-down tail, but everyone else kind of looks fine, right? And then the Tyrannosaurus just has a Funko Pop head for some reason. The overall robot's fine. Oh, wow. It threw shade at the other one. Oh no, I missed that. I missed that. Oh, that's hysterical. That's amazing. Okay. Okay, Ryzen toy, you get a little bit of respect from me. That's some dirty play there. Still hysterical. Oh man, your toy shoots electricity too. Holy crap. Oh, I didn't give these enough credit. See what else is going on. This one actually kind of looked neat. This one kind of looked neat. It looks like one of those like screw it together yourself type toys, just the way you like these gigantic bolts are visible. The overall result definitely looks knockoff. This is one of the most knockoffing of the knockoffs that we have seen here. If you could build it yourself out of if every kit was self-assembly, that would explain and justify why everything else is kept so simple. Does not seem to be part of the play pattern, at least as far as this goes. It does list a drill tool kit, which it does not show in any of these photos. So yeah, I do assume that you are putting this together yourself. Okay, in that sense, I can understand keeping it very simple. Because like you're basically like it's baby's first model kit, kind of. And then we have now we're getting to straight up knockoff stuff. This is definitely taking design cues from the previously released Transformer Dinobot combiners, specifically Power of the Primes. You can just see, like, yeah, the swoop matches, the snarl. You can see, the combiner ports in the chest, just like the other ones. So this is more like along the lines of your straight up just knockoffs, but done like incredibly cheaply. So we have these going too. So I want to throw in just a couple, and they aren't all interesting. We do still have just like standard old knockoffs, just like you always see. And then we have things like this. Okay, so they're dinosaur-based vehicles again. And I believe those do transform into some level of vehicle. Yes, they do. Actually, 2 vehicles combine into your dinosaur. Yeah, that's not a forklift. I don't know what that is, but that ain't a forklift. That isn't even a Triceratops. It looks more like a Styracosaur. But now we're getting very technical. Excavator, stone carrier, Brachiosaurus. Okay, fine. And then this that totally doesn't have an Optimus Prime head. And that's going to be our next little jaunt through all of these is Optimus Prime heads. These combiners that all just look like Optimus Prime for one reason or another. These Eggbot combiners do not look all that pleasant. The combine mode looks, what you'd expect from a bunch of combining eggs. And then everyone just kind of transforms the same, and we just kind of have different reptilian heads. In some cases, I don't even think they're all different reptiles. I think they're just repaints from each other. Yeah, you can see like that yellow one, that is absolutely an Ankylosaurus head. An Ankylosaurus was not a bipedal dinosaur. I would have liked this set a lot more if there was some variety in the eggs, and if some of them actually did have like quadrupeds going on. Also, it looks like the two are kissing on the torso. So you get a little bit of point for being cute. Still, weird Optimus Prime head going on. Yeah, it's basically 6 of the same toy that you just crammed together. Here's another one that had a really weird idea of, like, let's just make an Optimus Prime head. And this one is distinctly movie Optimus Prime, no less. So you have the psychotic leader of the Autobots, and then more lights and sounds, more magnetic block connection. A lot of these are resorting to magnets for combination. Yep, and then, yeah, that's totally not Bumblebee right there. That's totally not Barricade. And this is, like, in and of itself, it is just that basic level, like, Power Ranger-esque combiner toy. And it's not really hurting anything in that. It's just super weird to see Movie Prime's head on top of what looks like a Play School combiner. Let's see. And then we had this one that's just straight up Optimus Prime. Like, nothing. Like, there's no ambiguity to it. There is no, like, oh no, this is just, like, inspired by. No, this is just, they're straight up doing Optimus Prime as a combining robot of some form. I like how they just show half of one of the vehicles, because if the vehicles come apart for a little bit of play pattern. But yeah, like, blue legs, great. Like, yeah, they just straight up did Optimus Prime. Like, now you can get the yellow one. You get a yellow one instead, so you don't have to be, like, completely plagiarizing. But, like, who would get? I don't know why that one's running around like that. Oh, that's so weird. Flying agent car. Heavy armored vehicle. Is that what you call it? Speed armored arm. What is that? Oh my god. It looks like the worst parade float ever. Oh, give them credit for trying. Give them credit for trying to figure this out. Oh, it's an emergency vehicle. Yeah, you're going to be solving a lot of emergencies with only 2 wheels there, buddy. There's this one. And this one looked good, actually. Like, look at it. It's detailed, it's painted, like, sculpting's there. Like, it doesn't really look that much like a knockoff. Like, you have individual robot modes that look fine, you know, make it a little cheaper than a normal Transformer, but, you know, they work. You know, it's a fully formed construction set of Transformers that doesn't resort to just being the Constructicons. I know about those tiny little ankles, though. If using those arms is how you got the ankle tilt in there, that's actually kind of clever. But no, this one is actually passable. Like, this one actually has some effort put in. And you know the crazy part? Headmaster. Like, it actually works like a Titan Master does. Like, exactly like a Titan Master does. Fun. You know, that actually kind of works. That actually kind of works. It's not that weird of a knockoff. What's weird is the fact that there's a knockoff of this knockoff. Like, someone made a super cheap version of the exact same design style. And, you know, okay, yeah, the robots pretty much look all the same, except none of them are painted nearly as well anymore. Now they all look a lot cheaper. But, yeah, like, structurally, it's basically following the exact same pattern. The difference here is instead of a headmaster, you are getting this weird armor former that has to be both the chest armor and the head, which is kind of funny because the original version didn't need anything for the chest armor. It just had the front of one of the trucks. Like I guess that is chest armor, isn't it? Oh, well. Point being, what happened? What happened? Okay. This is a long video, so we're going to wrap it up with what I promised. I want you to all start to gaze. So for starters, yes, it's toy transforming guns. No, this does not prove that this is possible for Hasbro to do. You have not figured out something that Hasbro's legal team hasn't figured out in 40 years. No, this is just a super shady knockoff toy that is produced out of China, where laws like that are very questionable, and Amazon is so big they don't exactly regulate it. So they get away with this. A normal store like a Walmart or Target would absolutely not get away with this. Stop asking. But yeah, it's just a bunch of tiny little gun transformers, and all of them do have individual robot modes, so I'll give them credit for that. You know, they are smaller figures, so, you know, it is a little bit jank, but, you know, they do exist and they do function. The silver one here even kind of looks like the Magnum Robo that Microman made, the one that got passed over in favor of the Megatron we got. Okay, so fine. Fine, that all works. That's not the psychotic image. This is the psychotic image. Take it in. Take it all in. I want you to observe this very, very well. Let us observe the child in the middle, who seems to have two completely different eyes and an extremely unfortunate hairline. Notice the kid here on the right, who just looks like doll eyes, like his soul has left his body, and whose hand is melting into his other hand. I observed this child on the left, who has shark teeth and somehow barracuda teeth at the same time. Oh, God. Notice this girl who, is that a girl? Hard to tell. This kid, this child, whose forehead seems to go above the top of their head. I hate AI. I absolutely hate AI. But that's not what we care about, is it? No. It's this cake. It is this cake. The cake itself is also AI, because there are crust bottom cakes, but not that thick, and the top of it absolutely just looks like it came off of like the top of a pizza. But oh my god. Oh my god, this visual. Oh my god. I've never been to Texas. Is this what birthday parties are like in Texas? It's the most deranged image I ever saw in my life. Now, I am used to looking through these types of toy listings, and I do realize that apparently a lot of these Chinese knockoff companies think that the big market for a lot of their smaller toys is cake toppers. Like, apparently a vast majority of toy sales in this country are in the form of cake decorations, because I'm so accustomed to seeing toys very poorly photoshopped on top of a cake. But it changes a little bit when it's just 5 guns sticking out of a kid's birthday cake with 5 smiling children around. Oh my god. This is a birthday party you hold just before the purge. Oh my god, I can't top this. I could never top this. How do I beat that? How do I beat that? Just some very confused worker in China who had no idea they were putting together something that insane. They just thought, we just put all of our toys on top of cakes. Let's do this one too. And thought nothing of it. So yeah, I'll leave you on to this image. Because really, what else can I do after this? So thank you everyone for going on this this ride of psychosis with me. I hope everyone got a laugh out of it, or at least found some weird knockoffs that you can track down now. Thank you for watching. I will see you next time.
Hello everyone, I am Astral Agent Magnetar, a Tokusatsu VTuber, and I am streaming 4 times a week over on Twitch, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday afternoons, and a special late night one on late Friday/early Saturday. So come watch, come hang out, and let's make an impact together.